Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Paramahamsa Parivrajakachayastatara Shri Madhisvaya Greshila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namaste Shri Das Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Gopinan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham ki jai, Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Dwarka Dham ki jai, Ganga Maya ki jai, Yamuna Maya ki jai, Tulasi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Gaura Premanandi, Hari Bol, all glories to the Sun, Hare Krishna, all glories to the Sun, Hare Krishna, all glories to the Sun, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shishi, Guru and Guranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shri Bhakti Vikasha Swami Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is a reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. What's the shloka here? What is it? This is 10, 10, 10, 11. 11 and 12. Okay. All right. So which shloka do they have up here? 12 or 11? This is 12. Okay, so recite 11 and the shloka for 11, and then we, in the translation, and then we will do 12. So, okay. Dehaha kim anadatuhu. No, I'm going to just chant this. Dehaha kim anadat. Dehaha kim anadatuhu. Sevam nishektur. Deha kim anadatu swam. Nishektur matur evacha matu pitur balinaha kreturagraha shuno piva. So, while alive, does this body belong to its employer, to the self, to the father, the mother? The mother's father, does it belong to the person who takes it away by force, to the slave master who purchases it, to the sons who burn it in the fire, or if the body is not burned, does it belong to the dogs that eat it? Among the many possible claimants, who is the rightful claimant? Not to ascertain this, but instead to maintain the body by sinful activities is not good. So this is the next shloka, number 12. Evam sadharanam deham avyakta prabhavapyayam kovidvanat masat kritva Hanti jantun vrite sataha evam sadharanam deham avyakta prabhavapyayam kovidvanat masat kritva Anti jantu nrite sataha evam sadharanam deham avyakta prabhavapyayam kovidvanat vasatva Anti jantu nrite sataha Evam sadharanam deham Avyaktam prabhavapyayam Anyone else? Okay, so evam, in this way, sadharanam, common property, deham, the body, avyakta, from unmanifested nature, prabhava, manifested in that way, apyayam, and again merged with the unmanifested. For dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt thou return. Kaha, who is that person? Vidvan, one who is actually in knowledge. Atmasat Vidva, claiming as his own. Anti, kills. Jantun, poor animals. Rute, except. Asataha, rascals who have no knowledge, no clear understanding. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This body, after all, is produced by the unmanifested nature and again annihilated and merged in the natural elements. Therefore, it is the common property of everyone. Under the circumstances, who but a rascal claims his property as his own, and while maintaining it commits such sinful activities as killing animals just to satisfy his whims? Unless one is a rascal, one cannot commit such sinful activities. Purport. Atheists do not believe in the existence of the soul. Nonetheless, unless one is very cruel, why should one kill the animals unnecessarily? The body is a manifestation of a combination of matter. In the beginning it was nothing, but by a combination of matter it has come into existence. Then again, when the combination is dismantled, the body will no longer exist. In the beginning it was nothing, and in the end it will be nothing. Why then should one commit sinful activities when it is manifested? It is not possible for anyone to do this unless he is rascal number one. Om Agnanatamandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Veda Bhuttale Swayam Pagadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Paragamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sahagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Pradijana Sitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Phalan Sahagana Lalita Vishiva Shakandadam Shah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shmati Bhakti Vikasha Swaminiti Namane Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shmati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishi Shishindi Vari Paschatya Deshatarane Vanjagopataruvischa Kripasuni Pachapati Dhamma Vinamil Vaishnavi Myo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is an important shloka. They're all important shlokas. But the thing that struck me most about this shloka is that Prabhupada says, one who can kill animals, for their own purposes, just to eat, has to be a rascal. So, he's talking about the body, killing animals, And this is, these are the, the sons of Kuvera, Manigrave, Nalakuvara, who were offering prayers to the Lord. So, we're talking about the body, and they're lamenting their being enamored with the body, which is the reason for their being cursed by Sri Narada Muni. The curse was actually indirectly a blessing because it corrected their behavior and gave them a chance to actually meet the Lord in person. So offering these wonderful prayers at the lotus feet of the Lord for the Lord's pleasure. So one important lesson for this is that that in order to satisfy the body, we create so much trouble for other people, especially when it comes to killing, just for the sake of eating. And now Srila Prabhupada here says, atheists do not believe in the existence of the soul. Nonetheless, unless one is very cruel, why should one kill animals unnecessarily? So, now atheists, because they do not believe that there is any soul, they also do not believe there is any karma. And therefore they do not believe there is any karma fall. So so for the atheists, there's no prohibition. If you kill, you can get away with it, then, so much better for you, right? Because you got what you wanted. But Prabhupada is even mentioning here that even for atheists, unless one is very cruel, one is, one should find the killing of animals abhorrent. And we do find that nowadays that among the atheistic intellectuals in society that some have embraced veganism. Veganism means that you don't eat any, you can have the subgies, grains, fruits, everything like that, but you don't take the milk of the cow. That is that's the vegan today, and he doesn't take any other products like butter or things made from milk. So even an atheist finds such behavior abhorrent. So when Lord Buddha appeared, Lord Buddha, of course, is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, but he taught ahimsa. And he also he did not accept the existence of God either. And he did not accept the Vedic literature as authority. So, but even Lord Buddha and Lord Buddha's followers, they find the slaughter of animals abhorrent. At least his true followers find it awful, that we shouldn't do it. So so to actually be happy in killing animals is actually a very, very perverse condition. It's actually a very warped, very atrocious mentality. So, what the two brothers, the Manigriva and Nalakuvara, are doing is that they're basically explaining the subject matter in terms of Sankhya. So, so they begin by saying, they begin with some vishlation, who does this body belong to? Does it belong to an employer, to the self, to the father, the mother, the mother's father? Does it belong to persons who take it away by force, to the slave master who purchases it, or to the sons who burn it in the fire? If the body is not burned, does it belong to the dogs that eat it? Among the many possible claimants, who is the rightful claimant? So, these are very good questions. Who does this body actually belong to? So we say that it belongs to us, but did we really give ourselves the agency? I think that an honest person will admit not. And on this point, I think the atheists and the humanists, they're very misguided because they cannot understand something beyond their senses, the six senses, which include the mind. Then let's see. I lost my train of thought here. What was I saying before this? So who owns the body? So who really does this body really belong to? Yeah, so the atheists, they say that it belongs to me, the self, who's residing in the body, but actually, in order just to maintain the self seeks sustenance from so many other bodies. So who do we really belong to? So the answer is that we belong to Krishna. Now why this matters, just in terms of even ordinary dealings, is that even in ordinary dealings, that it's important to understand who has a right and who has a duty, to do something and who enjoys a right, for their own, to pursue their own happiness. Then and those who are atheists, or those who don't accept the belief in God, they necessarily have to nominate themselves, or their family, or their community, or their society above all others. And the reason for that is that when we have a body, we also have senses. And when we have senses, the senses demand some sort of gratification. So, because the self is not ultimately this body, the true self is not this body, it's actually a soul in the body, such temporary activities as wanted by the atheists ultimately do not satisfy them. Because the self actually requires a higher taste. Param drishva nivartate, vishaya vinavartante, niraharasya dehinaha, rasavarjam rasopyasya, param drishva nivartate. So, somebody may try to restrain himself, from sense enjoyment, or in this case, others' pleasures. But unless he gets a higher taste, he cannot remain fixed in consciousness. That is Krishna's lesson. So this higher taste, what would you say in Hindi? Uncha swad, a higher taste. It's such a thing can only exist unless there's a higher nature. And we can only accept that there's a higher nature unless if we only accept that there's, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Only then can we accept. So what happens is that the atheists, they build this society of they call it a humanist society. And in the humanist society, humanist means that the human being is the highest, is the most important, aspect, that we're all human. We share something in common. But we also share in common an unlimited hankering for material things, because matter, being inferior, cannot satisfy the soul. Okay? So this is why human society must necessarily degrade. This is why necessarily an atheistic society must necessarily produce a whole society of rascals who see nothing wrong with eating, with killing animals simply for their taste. The human being, eating meat is actually common in human society. It's not that this is uncommon. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about people being caught in illusion like fish are caught in a net. Okay? So even in Krishna's time, there were fishermen. The fishermen were catching the fish, and they were eating the fish. Okay, so even in Krishna's time, this propensity for eating meat and animal flesh is there. So, in order to actually not become a rascal, one has to accept the transcendental authority of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and follow his instructions and those of his servants. Otherwise, it won't be possible to fall into this lowest region of darkness. It won't be possible to avoid becoming a non-vegetarian eventually. Maybe for some time in this life, but if you're an atheist, you're going to take another birth, and if you take a birth, you might be in a lower species where it's okay to eat other animals, or you might also take birth among humans, still among humans, but that's not a very happy birth. To take birth in a family of atheists, it's really not a very happy thing. So, rascal number one. So, without Krishna, human society must devolve into a society of less than animals, of rascals. That's that's what's implied here. So, I don't know what else to say about this. Does anybody at this point have any questions? Surely anybody has any questions? I spoke in English. Did anybody understand me? Okay, so part two. I get to embarrass myself a little in Hindi now. So I'll try to say a little bit what I said in the English and the Hindi. So, and then शायद इसके बाद कोई भी मेरे लिए प्रश्न पूछेंगे. So is शरीर प्रकाश जलातर मालक है, सच में? तो एक मालक हमारे बॉस है, हमारे नौकरी के बॉस है, और ये दूसरा मालक ये पिता माता or a nani, mother's father, right? The nani. No, not the, right? The nani. So does it belong to the person who takes it away by force? जो ये इस शरीर का मालक जो हमारे शरीर को जबरदस्त से पकड़ते हैं. Does it belong to those people? So और ये शरीर मरने के बाद क्या ये शरीर अगर ये हमारे शरीर नहीं जल गया, क्या ये शरीर कुत्ते का है? क्योंकि कुत्ते आकर हमारे मरने के शरीर को खाते हैं। So क्या हमारे शरीर कुत्ते का है? So ये शरीर का मालिक कौन है? So ये शरीर ये प्रकृति से उत्पन्न होते हैं और समय के बाद ये शरीर नाश हो जाएगा और प्रकृति के साथ और प्रकृति से के साथ जुड़ते हैं। So इसलिए इस शरीर ये सामान्य ये सब लोगों की सामान्य चीज है, कि सामान्य प्रॉपर्टी है। So इसलिए जो रास्को है, so वो सोचते हैं कि ये शरीर मेरा का है और और ऐसा बदमाश आदमी he commits so many sinful activities to satisfy his tongue. So मेरा विचार है कि ऐसा इसी वजह से एथियज्म है। तो एथियज्म मतलब है कि एथियज्म जो भगवान को इनकार देते हैं। Those who reject God, they are atheists. They are called atheists. But वैदिक परंपरा में ये ठीक नाम नास्तिक है। तो नास्तिक मतलब है जो वैदिक साहित्य को इनकार देते हैं। So those who actually reject the Vedas, they're actually called Gnostic. But लेकिन आस्तिकों लोगों के बीच कोई वैदिक साहित्य वैदिक साहित्य मनाते हैं, but लेकिन ऐसे लोग भगवान नहीं मनाते हैं। They do not also accept, just like the जैसे कि मीमांसका लोग, ये मीमांसकास वो वैदिक रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस के पालन करते हैं, पर लेकिन वो सोचते हैं कि इस जिंदगी के सबसे श्रेष्ठ उपाय ये स्वर्ग प्राप्त करने हैं। This is correct? They think people who are the Mimamsakas, they do not accept there's God, but they accept Vedas, and they think that to go to heaven, to go to Svarga is actually the goal of life. Actually says like that in the Vedas, but the Vedas cannot be understood actually correctly in this way. Krishna ne kaha ki sarvasya cha ham ridi sanavishto mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaish cha saver aham eva vedyaha vedanta krit veda vedeva chaham. तो वेदा के असली उद्देश्य ये कृष्ण जानना है. So इसलिए भगवद गीता में कृष्ण ने कहा कि जो सोचते हैं कि स्वर्ग वेद की श्रेष्ठ स्वर्ग प्राप्त करने वेद के सबसे श्रेष्ठ देश है, जो लोग मूर्ख है वो लोग मूर्ख है. That they're not that they're actually not very intelligent. So to understand what is the ultimate purpose is जिंदगी की सबसे श्रेष्ठ उद्देश्य. This gives meaning, proper meaning to everything. So we should so if one does not have, अगर उनके पास ये आध्यात्मिक जिंदगी का परम दृष्टि है, वो लोग निश्चित रूप से महापाप कार्यों करेंगे. They will definitely commit. And why is this? ऐसा इसकी वजह से ये भौतिक कार्यों और ये भौतिक प्लेजर ये आत्मा को शांत नहीं कर सकेंगे. They cannot. This material activities cannot satisfy the self. So इसलिए ऐसे लोग पाशु के ऐसे लोगों को पाशु के अच्छा लगते हैं. They like to eat animals. So therefore इस दुनिया में असली शांति प्राप्त करने के लिए भगवान के द्वारा हो सकते हैं. This is only through spiritual to आध्यात्मिक उन्नति के द्वारा असली शांति प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. Otherwise अन्यथा ये नहीं हो सकते हैं. So ये मेरा 10 मिनट का हिंदी प्रवचन. तो इसके बारे में मेरे लिए कोई प्रश्न है? हरे कृष्ण प्रभु. जोर से बोलिए क्योंकि मेरे सुनने शक्ति कम है. आस्तिक मीमांसका लोग आस्तिक है, वो वेद के अथॉरिटी स्वीकार करते हैं। हाँ हाँ, सच में वो नास्तिक नहीं है, मीमांसका लोग आस्तिक है। वेद मानता है, भगवान को नहीं मानता है, तो भी आस्तिक है। हाँ, this is a very curious thing. So the आस्तिक लोग जो आस्तिक लोग हैं वो वेद स्वीकार करते हैं, वैदिक साहित्य स्वीकार करते हैं। तो क्योंकि ये लोगों वेदों के याम नियम के पालन करते हैं, वो कुछ न कुछ उन्नति प्राप्त करते हैं, some आध्यात्मिक उन्नति। They also make advancement, but it's slow. लेकिन उनका उन्नति धीरे है, लेकिन वो कम से कम वैदिक अथॉरिटी स्वीकार करते हैं। तो हमारे मंदिर के प्रमुख बासु घोष प्रभु ने हमें कहा कि जब वो श्री प्रभुपाद के पास था एक बार, बासु घोष प्रभु ने प्रभुपाद से पूछा कि क्या बेहतर है, ये कौन सा पाथ बेहतर है, ये एब्राहमिक धर्म जो जो बाइबल और कुरान और जो ऐसे धर्म के पालन करते हैं, जो ऐसे धर्म के पालन करते हैं, या वैदिक जो वैदिक याम नियम के पालन करते हैं, पर लेकिन उनके उपाय स्वर्ग प्राप्त करने के लिए। और श्रील प्रभुपाद का जवाब है कि जो वैदिक याम नियम के पालन करते हैं, ऐसे पाथ ये बेहतर है, क्योंकि कृष्ण ने कहा कि सब वैदिक साहित्यों के द्वारा में समझ सकते हैं। तो ये वेद ये कृष्ण की खास कृपा है, इसलिए कृष्ण ने कहा सारे वेदों के द्वारा मुझे जान सकते हैं। इसलिए समाज के लिए ये मीमांसक लोग कुछ अच्छा contribution देते हैं, so therefore we accept this is good। लेकिन उनके समझना श्रेष्ठ नहीं है, लेकिन ये अच्छा है। Is it okay? और इसके बारे में क्या आपके पास और प्रश्न हैं? भगवान तो स्वीकार किए, लेकिन वेदों को स्वीकार नहीं किए, वो उनसे तो अंग्रेजी में ये एक बात है. The perfect should not be the enemy of the good. How might you say that in Hindi? That, जो yeah. So we should remember that in the more than 1200, 1300 years ago, the Buddhists were very prominent. Bharatiya, Bharat में ये बुद्ध का प्रभाव ज़्यादा था. लेकिन Kumarlabhata or Shankaracharya, ये सनातन धर्म वापस स्थापित कर दिया. He established it again. And Kumarlabhata कौन थे? Kumarlabhata ये प्रमुख मीमांसका. तो मीमांसकाओं में से Kumarlabhata श्रेष्ठ थे, or Shankara, of course. So this was a good thing they did. This is a good thing. Of course, हम Shankaracharya के शंकराचार्य के न्याय को इनकार देते हैं. We don't accept his or Shankaracharya का darshan or Kumarlabhata का darshan हम भी उसको स्वीकार नहीं है. पर लेकिन उनमें से ये there's still something good about it. क्योंकि हमारे आचार्यों ने मीमांसा का प्रयोग करते हैं. And they also use, और कभी-कभी जीवा गोस्वामी, Shankara की कुछ बात भी देते हैं, क्योंकि कुछ बिंदु पर शंकरा की बात भी ठीक है. But we don't accept, उनके पूरा दर्शन नहीं स्वीकार करते हैं. So at least it's better than those who do not accept the Vedas. Is it okay? और कोई प्रश्न है? Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, we understand like this God is all merciful. You also explained like some atheists, they have tendency to eat animals.
Yeah.
They get next birth as a human beings also. They may get the next birth as a human beings also. So because God is all merciful and according to their tendency, they have been given a birth as a human being so that they can eat animals. So why, according to law of karma, they are accumulating sins? Because Lord has satisfied their tendency to kill animals, so they had the desire to eat animals, then why they are incurring sins there?
Well, it's like Duryodhana. Okay, Duryodhana was born in a royal family. Okay? So Duryodhana, although he, Vyasadeva and others, they determined that although he was born in a royal family, because his pious activities are finished, now he's going to turn to sinful activities. He's no longer pious, so he's going to commit so many sins. So the chance, the human birth is a chance to do both sinful activity and pious activity. Okay? So you have a choice. You still have a choice in the human birth, but you can also misuse it. So he has a choice in the human life to eat animals, but that's a misuse, and therefore next birth after that, he will take birth in lower species, because it's also tamagun. So when you die in tamagun, then you get lower birth. That's the rules. Okay?
I understand. Because animals, they do not incur any kind of sin.
They do not incur sins.
But here, like that atheist who wanted to eat animals, he got human birth.
Yeah.
Right? But why is incurring sin? Because his desire has been satisfied by giving him a human birth.
No, you know,
Free will there.
well, you see, human birth means you have responsibility. So that means that you have choice.
There are 4 lakh kind of human beings. Like there are lower consciousness, they have a very lower consciousness. Some of the human beings. Why they incur sins there?
Because they're human beings. If you're a human being, you incur sins. Okay, that's just the platform we're on. So if you don't use that responsibility, don't use that responsibly, then you go down in lower species where you're not as much of a problem. It's like putting the child in the corner. Okay, if the child misbehaves, then you go to the corner. Right? So, any other questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for the kind conversation. My point is due to the climate change.
Yeah.
And there's so many food stuff and chemical oriented food system, the body energy can differentiate and disease are increased in the normal society. What should the paradigm should come that aspect of the according to Bhagavad Shastra?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Can you repeat your question?
Question that due to the climate change, the food stuff decrease the energy, spiritual energy of body, so that disease increases in the normal class families.
I'm not understanding your question. I'm sorry. What's the question? Is somebody can repeat his question for me? Okay. Well, just want to say about climate change that all that has to happen is one big volcano blows up, and then there's more pollution in the atmosphere than any man can create. So this idea of climate change is just false ego. Then people thinking that we shouldn't pollute the environment, of course, but it's we're also very small controllers too. So the atheists, they think that they're very big people because, I'm very intelligent, but we're not very capable. So, okay, is there any other questions? Otherwise, we'll end here. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.